Alright, so we just got back from my brother's shop. We cut the rotors, as you guys saw, and we went to AutoZone is where we got our parts. Why do we go to AutoZone instead of Advance or Pep Boys? All three of those are in the same vicinity. No particular reason. It was just the closest one, and I don't know. I've been disappointed in the past with some Advance Auto parts, some of the stuff that I've gotten. Not that AutoZone's any better. We bought Duralast parts. Hey man, it's the official NASCAR. The official brakes of NASCAR. So it gotta be good, right? Whatever. I did buy the top model ones. I wanted the best ones they had. This is a ceramic pad, and so I don't know. I'm not endorsing these parts, guys. I'm just letting you know where we got them. The prices were actually very good. I'll show you that in a second. The rear caliper that comes, they call it, it said, is it called a loaded caliper? No, it was a caliper. It came with the bracket. So, you know what? Those bolts were Torx. So their bolts are different. That won't matter. My only concern is, can I get a socket in there? I didn't like the fact that they were Torx bolts anyway. So I just noticed that now, that's different, the bolts. But it comes with the bracket and new shims. So that's the rear and the front. Same thing I bought the one that comes with the bracket. Okay. And price-wise, let me show you guys for all of this. Oh, what else I get? I got .3 brake fluid, .3/N4 synthetic brake, .3 brake fluid. Needed some tamper-proof Torx. You guys don't need to see that. I bought a little siphon tool. It's like $2. Don't know if it'll work or not to pull the fluid out of my master cylinder, so we're going to use that. See how that goes. Got to be careful with brake fluid on paint. Brake fluid will eat paint if you leave it on there, so we got to be careful there. And then one other thing, you know, the cool thing about shooting YouTube videos with you guys is I actually learn from you. There are so many experts that watch what we do, we being those of us that shoot YouTube videos, and we read all of your comments. To think that we don't, seriously, every single comment that you guys have posted on my channel, I read them, every one of them. And when I did the brake work on my Jeep, one of you had mentioned, you know, the type of grease I was using, and there's a specific brake grease. And I have to tell you, when I was a tech, which was full-time tech, I'm still a tech, but when I was a full-time technician, there wasn't a specific brake caliper grease. They didn't make it, but I bought some. So one of you had mentioned about using a synthetic brake grease, and you know, don't use the regular suspension type grease, and it's specific type of grease for braking systems, and it definitely has a different compound to it. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with heat dissipation and that sort of thing. So I bought some brake grease thanks to one of my subscribers' suggestions. The grease that's in my gun is a synthetic grease. I mentioned earlier in the video that it was a brake grease. I'm not sure that I can really 100% put my trust in that statement. So I bought some, okay? What else? Oh, numbers. My receipt. There's a core charge, a $50 core charge on this one, and a $40 core charge on this one. So I got to take them back. So if we take off, so it was $311.30, but about $100 of that, because it's $90 and then there's tax. So $211 for a set of front brake pads, left front caliper, a right rear caliper, some tools, some brake grease, brake fluid, little siphon tool. I don't think it was too bad, honestly. It was a lot cheaper than I thought they would be. I thought these calipers would be $100 a piece, and they weren't. They were like 50 something. So pretty pleased about that. I'm anxious to hear you guys' thoughts about the Duralast products and AutoZone, and we all have different opinions, and if I could have used factory parts, I would have. But this was more about getting my truck done, getting it back on the road, and going to a parts store, and they had my stuff in stock, and this is what I did. So that's what we're using. So let's get this thing back together. We'll start on this right front because I'm not doing the caliper over here. I did debate while I was at the store, you know, should I change this right front caliper too? And I was really torn about it. And then as I'm thinking about the rear, I'm like, well, then I would want to do the rear too. And if I'm doing the rear, then maybe I do the shoes or the pads and the rotors. Anyway, I decided against it. We're just going to do what's needed. The first thing I need to do over here before we put this back together, I need to clean up this hub face. So I'll be right back. I got to get another brush to do that. The first thing we'll do is this will help in the future to keep rust at bay again, and it will also allow me to get this rotor off more easily in the future. We'll put some grease on this, just mainly around the area that the hub is. I mean, you don't need to grease the whole thing. Get a shot of that, Caleb.
What's that?
Down in here. This is why we clean underneath. This isn't real bad, but there is some chunky rust under that. And again, that raises that clip, puts pressure on the pad, and then they don't slide as easy. And there's a split in that boot right there. Look at that. See that? That is not good. That is not good. Comes with new clips and some organic grease. Guess I really didn't need to clean those, did I, Caleb? Do we use the new ones or the factory ones? You know, sometimes this parts you get made in China, but we have them, we use them. I'm not sure why the brush is bent, maybe just so it would fit.
Yeah, right? Maybe.
Again, I'm greasing underneath the bracket. For what reason, Caleb? Do you remember?
No, I do not remember.
Come on, man. Rust prevention. Because
yes.
the slide, you know, you don't need it lubricated underneath. That's not where the pad slides.
Yeah.
But the reason I just greased it underneath is just to keep the rust at bay. This would be where you want your hands to be clean, because we don't want to touch the surface of this rotor with greasy hands.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they make brake clean for.
Still there.
Brake clean is awesome. Love it. Let me get my gloves.
All right. You gotta like pull it back and snap it once it's on. Although
For a full body search. What's that? Beavis and Butthead Do America?
Cavity search.
A full cavity search. Okay. Bracket. Click. Click. The click was my torque wrench.
Yep.
Alright, so next piece. This is debatable. Again, guys, I am a engine performance diagnostics guy, right? And do we want to use the disc brake quiet on the back of these? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to. This is kind of almost a, it's not rubber, but it's got some kind of a, it's not just tin. I don't know what they make this out of. Anyway, there's a few other things to think about when we're doing brakes. And they're pretty much all the same, right? You look at them all. All four of these are the same. So they can go anywhere, right? But if you look at them, they're not the same. What's different about them is where the squealer is. And what these are is when the brake pads get down to this level, this will start to squeal on the rotor to make noise, right? So where you want that piece is you want that on the leading edge. So as your tire's rotating this way, you want it to be facing, so this would be the correct pad to put here. Why we don't want to use this one, so where the squealer's at the top, think about it, as the rotor's spinning this way, it's going to kick it out this way and move the squealer away from the rotor, as opposed to having it on this side where that rotor's spinning this direction, so it's going to hit it and almost pull it inward. That's where you want it. You want this on the inside. I don't know if I call that the leading edge or not, but that's where you want that brake squealer to be at. It's not critical. If you did it wrong the last time you did a brake job, it's not a big deal. But that's where we want them. So inside pad, I'm going to put that squealer at the bottom again, so when it rotates, picture that, hitting that, pulling it in towards it rather than pushing it away, makes it more effective at warning you that you have low brake pads. Okay, so sliders are good. Rotor has been cut. This caliper we're reusing, and I don't like that this boot has a little tear at the top. I showed that in the last segment. I don't know if you can see that right there. Is a little bit of a tear, but it's like a double layered boot that once that, it really needs to be replaced. I just don't have one, or do I? I have another bracket. I have new boots here. Can I use one from the other side? Question is, am I going to be able to remove that without destroying it? My guess is no.
Worth a shot though.
No. It's not going to happen. It's like, here, it's almost like glued to it. You see that? Like it's not, it is. It's like part of this whole piece. Let me get a pocket screwdriver and show you that. What we need is some Scanner Danner pocket screwdrivers. I don't have any yet. It should say Scanner Danner, don't be a parts changer on it. But if you look at this part here, yeah, it's like molded to this. Or is it just so rusty? That is not going to come apart. Yeah, it's not. It's part of this bracket. You see where it's almost like it was folded under. There's a piece underneath it. So that's what's torn is so it's not really torn, is it? Let's see. There's like a piece that's maybe staked down. Yeah, that's what it was. So almost like not even serviceable. Let's look at this one again and see where that's at. Yeah, okay. So it's just that outer piece. This is still going to sit in there. It's not going to be sealed as well with it being cracked there, but it's not, at least it's not cracked in the boot area. well, whenever I change this caliper on this side down the road, if this slide you know, freezes up and I need a boot, I'll just get another caliper with a bracket for 50 bucks and be done with it. Maybe all the more reason I should have done it now, but again, it's not bad. I'm okay with it. We'll let it go. I'm not going to use the the disc brake quiet. I'm not going to use it. We're just going to put this on. I may have to push these pistons in a little bit more. We'll see here in a second. Nope, we're good. You see that right there? Got a little bit of rust in there at some point in time. What I'll do when I edit this video, guys, I'll put in the torque specs for these, for the caliper pins and for the bracket, because if you've never done this type of work before, you don't really have a feel for how tight bolts should be, and you definitely want to start using torque wrenches on everything until you get a really good gauge of it. And clearly this one was over torqued last time. Whether it was my fault or not doesn't matter. Good with that. Click and click. All right, last piece, brake hose. How'd we do? Good. We didn't twist it. Again, we want to, when we're done here, tight, 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 tight. 4 bolts. I'm good. Hang the wheel, right? We're done. In our case, right now, we're not done because we may have to, we're going to do a brake flush. So I need to leave this wheel off because we're going to be bleeding the brake on this side. But this one's done for now. Let's go to the other side. Same thing, except the other side, we're changing this caliper too. It's weird having a cameraman. Now I know what those guys on the Discovery Channel feel like. You got a camera in your face all the time, you know? Did not have the shims on it. Put them on. You guys that, again, don't live in the Rust Belt, you are blessed. But some of you are thinking, why are you putting grease underneath that? I don't want that at all. It's like totally different. In the factory bracket. You see something there. What I don't like, look at this gap right here. You see it?
Let me zoom in more.
Okay. And then look at this. Look at this gap. See the difference? I don't like that that's not sitting against that. What I realized is these are the ones that came with the shoes, or with the pads. This is the one that came with the caliper. Let's see if this is any better of a fit. Did it fit the other side okay? Yeah, it's this kind of stuff that I don't like. Look at that. I mean, look at the gap between there. You know? And that's seated all the way. And I can see like all the way through that. So it's literally a machine surface difference, like the height of this. I don't like that at all. Stay with the same. It should be okay. You know, part of that could be in what we're trying to prevent, which is the rust, and they're leaving a tolerance in there, but that just seems, I don't know, don't like it. It seems kind of sketchy. You see what I was talking about, Caleb?
Yeah. That huge gap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same thing there. Like,
yeah.
it's just a little tin piece now that's holding that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it should be okay. There's a gap in the factory one too. Like if you look at this, see that? Can you see that gap?
Yeah, you want me to film that?
Yeah, get in on that. So there's a gap there too, but not as much as that one. I don't know. We'll use it. And this gun, this 3/8 gun will go 100 foot-pounds. Good. Pads. Oh, I forgot to. Come on, cameraman.
What's that?
Forgot to lube the slides.
You're the mechanic, I'm just filming.
It's easier to lube these when they're off the car. Okay. Now, let's see, best way to do this. Maybe one of you guys can fill in the gaps here. Take a look at this caliper. Wait, let me see if the factory one has it first. Now, factory caliper does not have this little shim that's on the inside. It's a metal shim. I've never seen one of these before. Clearly designed to stay there. I don't know what the purpose of that would be. Some type of anti-rattle or noise reason. Those were not there, in my opinion. They're not there to be removed. I'm going to put them on with it. I don't think this. Let me check and make sure if this came with instructions. The pads came with instructions, but the caliper did not. So what do you think, Caleb? To me, that's something we're going to leave on. It's not going to hurt anything if I do. I'll be curious to hear your comments as to what these are actually doing. I'm leaving them on. What we'll do first is we'll bolt this up. It'll be easier to handle these brake lines, or the brake line. I know these are pre-greased inside, but put more on. Now we're gonna get some brake fluid everywhere, Caleb. Okay, just because of where we're at, I'm gonna use my impact driver for this. It would be helpful to have this mounted when you take this brake line off, but in our case, it helps to have a tool like that. So we're gonna get brake fluid leaking, totally fine. All right, when you do brakes, this part's really important. We have a washer underneath, or a copper, if you want to call it a washer. It's stuck on there. Lucky me. I'll show them to you in a second. In fact, we have a new bolt, so it's like a crush washer is what it is. Let's get that out of there. Come on. This is where we need to be careful, guys. I'm touching my door handles in my truck, and I got brake fluid on my hands. Do not want to get brake fluid on your paint. And I don't want to empty my master cylinder, so that's why I'm working kind of quickly here. These normally do not get stuck like that. That's one. And then the second one is, it's still on the bolt. See it? See the copper gasket? Okay, so our new one, you want to make sure that there's one on the bottom and on the top. Okay? Then the bolt. You want to make sure you're not double gasketing these. You know, make sure you got the old ones off. Now the rush part is pretty much done. And I will not use my impact to tighten that. And I want to be careful here because I have a lot of torque with this long-handled ratchet. I don't want to go nuts here. Okay. Torque specs. I will provide you guys in the edit of this video with some torque specs. So what we want to do now, this is empty, filled with air. We want to crack this bleeder loose. 10 millimeter. This is my mobile toolbox when I'm doing my diagnostic stuff.
It's very organized.
Well, not really. The reason I have it that way and not a toolbox is when it's sitting in my truck, I don't want it looking like a toolbox. It just says, hey, come steal me. Although it looks more like a gun case, which would maybe make it more of a, hey, come steal me. All right, what I just did is I cracked this bleeder loose. I'm gonna leave this loose until I start getting brake fluid come out of here. That'll get a lot of my air out of this caliper. We'll still have to bleed it, but that's an initial thing that we can do. It's called a gravity bleed that will let this go until we get fluid out. This is a pretty big caliper, so it's gonna take a little bit. While we're waiting, let's go up top and make sure our brake fluid level is good. While we're doing this, the last thing you want to do when you're trying to get air out of a system is to have a master cylinder that's empty. So we see our fluid level still full in this. We're okay to let this gravity bleed. But keep an eye on that as you're doing this kind of stuff. And again, tight, 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 tight. Hang the wheel, right? That kind of stuff. Still waiting on fluid. While we're waiting, I did not grease this upper ball joint recently. Got it? Look. You don't have to get that close. You can see it from back there. Okay? So what we did is we gravity bled that. We still have to bleed these properly, but that's enough for right now to get a good bit of that air out. Actually, there's still some air bubbles. See them? So we'll let that go for another minute or so while I'm greasing this upper ball joint. All right, that's good for now. We'll tighten that up. We don't have to go Godzilla tight with anything with the bleeders yet because we're gonna be on all 4 of them. Oh, my neighbor's gonna hate me. I'm bleeding brakes on his driveway. This is not my driveway. Sorry, Dale. I didn't put towels down. If it was my driveway, I wouldn't care. This isn't my driveway. I'll go get some kitty litter. We'll put some kitty litter down. You know, kitty litter is like the best, like oil absorption stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, Dale.
You jerk.
Brake fluid won't hurt his driveway. Shouldn't. But that's something we gotta remember, Caleb, when we're bleeding these, we need to be a little bit cautious. I need to get a drain pan under each wheel, being this is not my driveway. Oh, one of you guys told me to take this piece of crap off. It's good advice. You said that stuff gets trapped in there. You know what? I'll just definitely keep my eye on it. I keep forgetting I have this. Now, I didn't need to take that one out, but I want to save these pins. I could have just slid it off. Did all that cleaning on this bracket for nothing, Caleb. These shoes are cooked. They got baked, didn't they? This is not necessary. This does nothing. There we go. They're not baked anymore. Somebody's gonna be like, "What are you doing, Danny?" I'll be like, "I don't know. I do engine performance work, okay? I don't do this stuff anymore. Doesn't mean I can't. Okay? Doesn't mean I can't. I just don't like to. I have to. Actually, I do. Because I'm not paying somebody to work on my own vehicle. Somebody tighten that bad boy. Nope. That means you're gonna watch me struggle again. With my my ED Ratchet. Holy crap! Who was the a-hole that tightened this? Could it have been me? Momento. I'll have a cheater bar with me, but I need more leverage, Caleb. So we're gonna give ourselves some more leverage here with a.
Nice.
This is kind of sketchy though with a wobbly ratchet. Like I have a really good chance of punching the ground here.
That'd be really funny.
Or breaking my ratchet. Holy crap.
Jeez.
That's one. Some of you are thinking, why don't you use your 1/2-inch torque wrench? Well, I would not get it in here. I'd be hitting that block. Cool?
There you go.
Leverage.
Science.
I'm pretty sure it didn't need to be that tight. Here's what I was talking about. See the caliper pins on this one? And see the factory ones? The factory ones are flat torque spit, and these ones are, this is my preference. I don't know why they put these here in the first place. I actually had one of these was starting to round off, so it might be distance, I don't have. Okay, let's take this off. Grease.
It really bothers me that brush is so bent.
I know. Dude.
Like, come on, man.
Right? I think it was so it reaches the bottom. You know?
Yeah, but
They could have, yeah. I agree.
come on.
Right? Alright, Caleb. I gotta grease this before I put it on.
Yep.
Okay? Still that big air gap back here too. I'm not gonna call that a problem, but because this is not a real thin like tin. It's pretty solid, like these pieces. I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, we'll see in the edit, Caleb, if you did good as my cameraman. I really, really appreciate you helping me do this, Caleb.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know that, you know, spending the day with your father behind the camera.
That's no big deal to me.
For you guys that don't know, Caleb's getting paid. I'm paying him to be my cameraman. He deserves it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do this for free.
Well, look at it this way. You know what? You're learning stuff too. If you stay with me this summer, Caleb.
Yeah. For certain.
All right, we don't need to Godzilla these on here, but tight. Torque specs. I'll put them in the description of this video for you guys, or maybe in an overlay on the video itself. Okay, not changing the rear pads again because I'm gonna wear these pads down, and you know, we're more than half of the life in these still. It feels wrong to me to be changing a caliper and not putting new pads and have a fresh cut rotor. Just, I'm really doing this. I don't want to call it half-assed. This is not a half-assed job. This is being done right. This is just the dilemma that we have as mechanics as far as doing a correct job. And to me, I feel like if this is a customer's car, I want to cut these rotors like we did the fronts, and I want to change these pads because they got cooked. These ones weren't heat cracked though, so we're fine. It's not a safety issue. It's just a It's a personal, like, OCD issue. Notice this caliper doesn't come with those, that weird shim on it.
You can brush.
Is that bothering you?
It bothers me so much. Just like make the brush shorter, or make the bottle longer. Like,
I know.
You gotta be kidding me.
I know. This is stuff you want to learn how to do, Caleb, when you're on your own.
Yeah.
You got a young family.
Yeah.
You don't want to be paying somebody to do your brakes, man.
Oh no.
You know, you can go back and watch this video even, you know?
Yeah.
God forbid if I'm not around, you know, I'm leaving you something behind too, man. Oh, one of you guys asked me when I did the tool review on these ratchets if this was progressive, meaning can I do it slowly? The answer is yes. This is a progressive switch. It's not just an on-off. There's your low, there's your slow speed. Okay, so yes, it is progressive. Okay. All right, same thing that we did on the other side. Hopefully that inside crush washer won't fight me like the back side did. Yeah, that's stuck on there too. Normally these will come right off. Just they were crushed in a way that went into the threads.
Gotta make sure you put those towels down.
Oh yeah.
You want me to grab them?
No, you stay here. I'll clean it up. Let me just show what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Come on. Get off of there. I've never had to do that. Ever. No big deal. Alright. There's the old one. Again, you don't want to double gasket these. Make sure you get the old ones off. One copper washer gasket on the top, one on the bottom. You never really want to reuse them either. You can if you ever have to take a caliper off. It's not recommended to reuse them though. And we will do a manual tightening of this. My giant ass ratchet. You want these to be pretty tight because you're crushing that washer down. That's really why I had a problem getting it off the threads, because you're squeezing it, you're crushing it. Some of the copper went into the threads. That's why I couldn't pull it out. And 10 millimeter. Same thing back here, Caleb. We're loosening this bleeder. And we're going to let that stay open until we get fluid running out of there. Okay? So again, in my head, here's what I'm thinking. I had 4 bolts out. Tight, 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 and then the 5th one was here. I was always doing that. Always checking myself in my mind. Did I miss something? It was always my worst nightmare to think about a mother and her children in a vehicle that I worked on, and you know, just because I was careless or not paying attention, that I mean, I literally could cost someone their life. Take this back. This is worth 50 bucks. In fact, because I'm talking, I'm gonna recheck these just to be sure. Sometimes when I'm talking, when I'm teaching and doing, sometimes you forget, you know? All right, so we got fluid leaking out now. Tighten that down. Cool. All right, we're gonna get Jake to be our foot person. You're gonna be my camera guy, and I'm gonna show you how to bleed these brakes. Before I go grab him, let's go up front. We'll drain our master cylinder first, get new fluid in it. All right, I don't know. You guys are probably laughing at me for what I have. Here, you got to get a shot of your brother. They know Jake. Jake is, you guys met Jake in, you met Jake when we did his starter video on his car. That's Jake. Jake's leaving me this year. No, you're not. You're commuting to college. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I bought this rinky-dink tool.
The thing looks ridiculous.
Is it gonna work? Which way is which? I need it to pull in. Okay, that's out. That's in. I need it to suck, not blow. And you can actually put it either way. It'll do either. I don't know that this is gonna work. What I'm attempting to do is to suck the fluid out of my master cylinder because I want to put new stuff in it. We shall see.
Hey. Nice.
It's working.
Maybe.
No, it's working.
Nice.
Well, it was working until I got brake fluid in the valve. Come on, man. There it is. No, stay with me.
This thing is ridiculous.
Hey, it's doing what I need it to do. It cost me like $2.50. I don't have a turkey baster. And you know what? If we did, Mommy would kill me if I used it. Know what I mean?
Yep.
So these little valves that are in here are pretty cheap. If you take your time, it's working very well. You're going to be our foot guy on the brake pedal here in a minute. As soon as I drain this master cylinder, Jake, we're going to bleed the brakes, and I need you to be my foot guy. Caleb's going to be my camera guy. Okay? Boy, I'd hate to siphon a gas tank with this. This might be a one-time use tool. I'm about a third of the way there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness.
I used to have a Mighty Vac. It was a vacuum pump and a brake bleeder. It worked really well for pulling stuff out. This actually isn't doing too bad. Actually, what I'm finding is don't squeeze it all the way. Just halfway. And honestly, the reason I'm doing this, guys, this brake fluid has been in here since 2009, and it's 2017, and brake fluid needs to be changed on occasion too. What interval? I don't know. When it starts looking crappy. There probably is an interval. Everyone's going to have an opinion on how often you should do it. Sorry, Jake, I didn't think this was going to take this long. It's going to be a 4-part video on doing my brakes on my truck, or a really long one. All right, we don't need to show all of this. You know, I'll just say this, and because I'll cut out the rest of it, that this tool worked for what we needed it to do. It cost me $3 from AutoZone, and what we're going to do here is continue to drain this master cylinder till it's empty. We're going to put fresh fluid in it, and then I'll show you guys bleeding the brakes, and we'll be done. Maybe you can zoom on like this part right here, and what just want to show, like, there's some debris I don't know if you can see. Can you see that in the camera? Is my hand helping, or is it better without my hand there?
Better without, I think.
You can actually see. I'll see if I can get it slowly. See all the debris coming out of there? You see it?
I think.
You see that?
Mhm.
Look right here. See all that?
Yeah.
So there's crap in there. What I'd really like to do is pull this bottle and clean it, but I'm not going to have that option. I'm not going to break something. That's the last thing I want to do, is break my master cylinder plastic reservoir trying to take it off so I can clean it. I'll do the best I can. All right, Jake, you're gonna jump in, and you put my front windows down so you can hear me. Listen, this is important for everyone. Well, not so much you guys. Well, maybe. When you bleed brakes, you're pushing the brake pedal down to the floor beyond where it normally rides. Okay, so picture this. You have a piston that's riding in a groove for thousands and thousands of miles. And then all of a sudden, it's going to move past that point. What can happen with higher mileage vehicles is you can tear one of the seals in the master cylinder, and then you can't get a good brake pedal when you're done. So the trick is, for a higher mileage vehicle, when you bleed brakes, don't push the pedal all the way to the floor. What you do is put one foot underneath the pedal and push down to where you hit your foot, so you're not going full travel. That's kind of what I want you to do. We have 80-some thousand miles. I don't want to ruin my master cylinder. That is something that can happen. Make sense?
Yep.
So you're going to put a foot underneath, foot on top, go down to where you hit your foot. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. And all we're going to do, Jake, is I'm just going to say up and down. And when I tell you to push down, you're going to hold it down until I say up again, okay? One of the things that I don't do when I bleed brakes, one of the things I don't do is pump the brake pedal. A lot of people will say pump it up and then bleed it and pump it and bleed it. No. We're just going to do single strokes. However, because all of my pistons are pushed in, we are going to pump it up for the initial one. So go ahead and easy, about half strokes with that brake pedal, Jake.
Just pulse it?
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going.
Slow to come back.
It will be, because we have a loss of hydraulics and we got air through the whole system. Keep going. Keep pumping. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, I'm not getting anything here, so we'll bleed this side. Leave it up for a second. We'll use this hose to keep Dale from being angry at us. He won't be mad, but this will help direct the fluid where it needs to be, and you guys will be able to see the air in here better. Okay, hold it down.
All the way?
Well, yeah, keep your foot underneath it. Don't go all the way to the floor. Okay, back up. And down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. All right, come back to this one. We're gonna go in the back and hit that back one. We're gonna bleed all of them, but just so Jake can get a brake pedal again, let's go in the back. Follow me. Master cylinder's still full. This hose that we got from that little kit has been valuable 2 times now, using it as a bleed hose so I don't get fluid everywhere. Okay, down, up, down, up, down, Up. Down. Up. Down. Okay, pump it up. You starting to get a brake pedal now?
Yeah.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's harder.
Let me see if follow me, Caleb. Look at this rotor. See how this is still no activation here with that caliper. See how this is still loose. Go ahead, pump it up more, Jake. Keep going. Watch this air gap right here, Caleb. Keep going. Keep going. We haven't even gotten a pedal on this rotor yet. Keep going. Keep going. Now we do. See the difference now with this rotor? Keep going. Push it down hard. You got a pedal now? You said you did before. You should have felt a difference there now. Kinda? Gotcha. It should be. Alright, push it down, hold it. Up. Down. Up. It'll be easier for you, Jake. Start the truck. It'll be a lot easier for you to do this. Go ahead and do that.
Turn it on?
Yeah, start it. Alright, up. Down. Up. Is it coming back now? Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. That's better. Up. Look how nasty this fluid is. Down. I'm gonna keep bleeding this till it comes out clear. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Normally you don't need to bleed a brake system this long. The reason I'm continuing, all the air is out of this. The reason I'm continuing is I want to get some fresh fluid back here. Push it down. Up. Down. Up. Down. That's getting clear. Up. Down. Up. Down. Good with that. Okay, let it up. Shut the truck off for a minute. Is that easier with it running, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit. It's still slow coming up.
It shouldn't be slow coming up.
Feels slow.
Alright, what I need to do before we continue bleeding, otherwise we defeat the whole purpose of this. So we want to make sure that we still have fluid in our master cylinder. Follow me. We're about, we still got about 2/3 left in there, so we can continue to bleed for a little bit. We'll go back to this one. I'm gonna bleed this one until it comes out clean. Go ahead and push it down, Jake. See the difference in the color of this? Okay, up. Down. Jake, what I want you to do is talk to me too. Well, actually, we don't have to. It helps though. When I say up, you say up and down. Just so I know. That way we're coordinated.
Yeah.
And for the people that are watching this, when you bleed brakes, you don't want to have the bleeder open while you're pulling up. So it's important that you and I are communicating. So you're up right now?
Yep.
Okay, down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
And we're just going to keep bleeding this until it comes out clear. Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
And what I'm doing, you're holding it down, right?
Yep.
I'm tightening this bleeder. Bleeder's tight. Go ahead, let it up.
Up.
So what that makes sure that we're not pulling in this way, it's pulling from the master cylinder. I'll push it down.
Down.
And tighten. Then up.
Up.
And loosen. And actually you can loosen it and then push it down, or you can push down first and then loosen it. It doesn't matter. Go ahead, push it down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
And again, all the air is out of this. This is all you need to do. As far as the right rear and the or the left rear and the right front, there really is no reason to open those up. All of your air is right here. You know, to each his own. If you want to bleed all four after having anything open, it's really not necessary.
I'm still down.
Okay, let up. The reason we're continuing, again, we're doing a brake flush. Go ahead, down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
I gotta go get some more brake fluid. Pause that, Caleb. We're halfway through bleeding. My master cylinder was about 3/4 of the way empty, so I'm filling it back up again. The thing is, I wanted to bleed this until that fluid came out clear, but the thing is I couldn't get all of the crap out of the bottom of this master cylinder, so it's not going to come out as clear as I want it to be. But anyway, let's keep going. You gotta push down, Jake.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
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 Down.
Obviously, we're gonna edit some of this. That's gonna be annoying to watch. Up.
Oh yeah.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Someone watches this for like 15 minutes.
All
They're
right,
like,
up,
"Come
down,
on,
up,
Danner."
down, up, down, up, down, up, down,
Still down.
up,
Up.
and down.
You should
Down.
cut out everything and only put this on YouTube.
Up.
Up. It's
Down.
like one of those 10-hour videos down.
Yeah.
Draining brake fluid with scanner Danner.
All right, that's
24
good.
hours.
I'm good with that one. We're gonna do two more. The other two we won't have to
Come up.
bleed. Yeah, you can let it up. The other two we won't have to bleed as long because we are we got most of the crap out on these two that we changed. Okay, two more. Oh no.
What'd you do?
I just I need to get a different wrench. Maybe a 3/8. That 10mm just rounded that. That bleeder's never been loose. 3/8 is a little bit smaller than 10. I'm hoping I can save this. It's not good. Not good at all. This, if I can't get this bleeder loose, I'm not going to be able to bleed this side. It's heavily rusted in there. Okay, cool. Got it loose. Okay, push down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down.
Best part of the video.
Up. Down. 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 One more. Up. Down. You could see the tube changing color though, couldn't you, Caleb?
I think so, yeah. Because it was like
Yeah, you can let it up.
it was like a darker, like gross,
Initially,
muddy color.
yeah. Yeah. I know I do. It'll be good for inspection now. One more, Caleb. It's the right rear, or left rear. Follow me. And again, eyeball your master cylinder along the way. We're still at full level. The last thing we want to do is empty our master cylinder and then get air through the whole system. So think about it, right? You just bled everything out, and then your last one, your master cylinder's empty, and you suck air into the system. You got to do it all over again. Same thing. This one's not coming out.
Okay.
Gotta say, I do love my Snap-on 1/4 inch. This thing's got such a nice click rate. It's awesome. Love it. Hoping those gear wrench ones I get are decent. Down.
Down.
Wow, that was terrible looking. Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
Up.
Up.
Down.
Down.
One more. Up.
Up.
Down.
Down. Going back up.
Yep. Stay with me for a second. There's one final thing we need to talk about.
What about me?
I need you for one more minute too, Jake. Tighten my bleeder. Okay. What I want you to do, Jake, is I want you to start the truck, and then I want you to push on the brake pedal. Tell me if you feel any brake pedal fade. And by fade, what I'm saying is if we have a leak, think about it. We have a hydraulic leak in the system because I had it open. What will happen is that brake pedal will start to drop on you like it does when we were bleeding it.
Yep.
Start it up and tell me what it feels like. Something else too. brake fluid level's still good. We're about 3/4. We'll fill that up. Our level's about right there right now. See, I don't know if you can see that.
Yep.
Go ahead and pump it a couple of times. Tell me what it feels like. Feel okay to you? Nice and firm. It's a hydro boost system.
It feels kind of loose towards the top.
Well, it's different. This is not a vacuum assist brake booster. It uses hydraulic fluid, so it's going to feel different than your car. Push the pedal down and tell me if you feel any fade at all. Like just a steady, hold tight, like you were at a red light. We don't want to feel any pedal fade. Feel good? Okay. Keep holding it now. The last piece, this is the safety part, is I want to make sure that I do a visual inspection on all four, in particular the calipers that I replaced, and make sure we have no leaks right there. So that's the last piece. I need a towel. It's brake clean. Come with me, kid. Turn the wheel toward me, Jake. Or toward Dale's house, sorry.
All the way?
Yeah, all the way. Come over here on this side, Caleb. Last piece, you're holding the brake pedal still. Just do a visual inspection on your copper gaskets that we had tightened and on your bleeder. No leaks there. Good, good. Again, making sure that we tightened everything. In my mind, tight, 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 tight. That bolt's tight, this one's tight. Hang the wheel, right? Next one. Turn the wheel this way. Isn't brake clean awesome? It dries immediately. You still on the brake pedal, bud? No leaks. Good. Again, tight, 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 tight. Right? Straighten the wheel. Back here. You still on the brake pedal? The reason we started the truck too is that allows more hydraulic pressure to be applied when you have an assist. You want to make sure none of this is leaking. No brake pedal fade, Jake? Cool. One more. Feels good, bud? Okay, go ahead, shut it off. All right, Caleb. Anything else we want to add? Last piece of this is I'm just gonna bolt the wheels back up, and then a final piece for you guys. What I'll do is I'll test drive the vehicle, and I'll really kind of get into the brakes for a while, and then I'll bring my infrared temp gun, and we'll do a temp measurement on each wheel just to get a comparison. And that part's really not necessary. Jake, thanks for helping. Cool. That part's not necessary. I say that because I don't really know that I've ever measured brakes with an infrared temp gun and actually got a number. I really just kind of go by feel and by smell and how the vehicle drives. But we should be good. Again, the back brakes, you know, debatable on whether or not we should have put new pads on it. We definitely would have wanted to cut the rotors. Our rotor thickness up front, next year they're going to need to be replaced. These will be good for probably the life of the front pads. Next time we'll change the rotors, but we'll be good for inspection. And Caleb, thanks for being my cameraman. I'm not sure how many parts this is going to be when it's done, but guys, thanks so much for joining me. I want to remind you guys again, in case I forget later, about my other stuff that I do. My specialty is check engine lights, no starts, electrical problems. There's probably 350 plus videos on this channel right now. And I have another channel. It's actually a paid channel. It is a college course that I teach. I teach at Rosedale Technical College, and I teach engine performance to brand new students who have some experience, maybe as little as an engine class and a basic electrical class before they come to me. So maybe as little as 16 weeks of training before they come to my class. So basically they're brand new. And I'll take you from step one all the way through the course, and I have everything recorded. I've been teaching this class for about, well, this September will be 17 years I've been teaching this class. And you guys can check out the channel. It's called Scanner Danner Premium, and it's a monthly subscription or a yearly one. And guys, I tell you what, if you're looking to up your game in diagnostic type work, maybe you're a guy that's done plenty of brake jobs on cars and now you want to get into troubleshooting, you need to follow my other channel. Guys, thanks for joining me. And Caleb, special thanks to my son again, my cameraman, and he's going to do this more for me. Next up, I'll get you some temp readings and we'll be done. Thanks guys, see you in a few minutes. So on the 8-lug design, if you tighten, skip 2, tighten 1, skip 2, tighten 1, skip 2, you'll get all 8. 1, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, skip 2, 1, 2, right? That makes sure that they're nice and even. And then from there, I'm just hitting them all. This is going to put it about 100. And these need to be torqued to 140, so that's a good starting point. The other thing I'll do is turn the wheel a little bit. That allows me to get my torque wrench over here and not hit the mud flap. Just a little easier. Little tricks of the trade. This jack sucks. I am one jack off. That's what Mr. Kaplan always says. Except the context is better than the way I just said it. Okay, stay with me. My torque spec is 140. I'm going to go 150, which is the max that this torque wrench provides. I just don't trust it. I think it's been out of calibration forever. Plus I got this really long piece and you lose torque there. So again, skipping 2. As long as I've been a mechanic, I do not trust my own strength in knowing where my lug nut torque is. I always torque lug nuts, always. Once I get them all, one more time, all the way around. over here so we can see the max level. Right here is their max line. We want to fill it up to there. Cool.
I think you can really tell, but
You should be able to see the line if you see the fluid level there.
yeah. When you shake it, it's easier.
Actually, I want to go just a little bit more. Okay. Look like about 182 rotor temperature. 184. 185. Rim temperature isn't bad. It's about 94 degrees. So 185 and 94. It's just a couple mile drive to the auto zone. Let's get this one. This is the new caliper. No, this is the old one. Wait, which one did I change? Left front. So this is the older one. I saw 189. I thought I saw 190 initially. 189 and 95. Happy with that. It's pretty even up front. This is the right rear. This is a new caliper. 182. Again, the shiny surface of the rim can definitely change things here. 87. I saw 188. Trying to get rid of the glare. It's hard. $89 I saw. Alright, cool. I have my daughter May with me now. We're at a friend's house. We just took a ride. I was from soccer. I was definitely on the brakes for a little bit longer. I actually expect them to be hotter. And they're not. It's 185 I saw. Oh, the rears are 250 on that one. But equal. 254. I like even. One caliper is new and one is old. Okay, so my rears are a lot hotter. Not that that's necessarily an issue. These front rotors are bigger, I think. The calipers are definitely bigger. So 194. All right, May. One more check on this. Yeah, this 185, this 187. This new caliper is cooler a little bit on this side. I mean, not by much. 10 degrees. Okay, boys, it is the last temperature test that I'm going to do. It's raining out today, so it'll be a little bit cooler. And what else? Oh, it has been a couple weeks since the brakes were done, so this will be maybe the most accurate test as far as everything is seated in, and you know, we'll see what we get. Okay, left front. And again, I'm finding my hottest number here. I saw a 2, there's 235. You can look at that max number on there. Okay, 235 on the left front. Right front. like 236. .236 on the right front. So left front caliper was new, right front is the old one. Same temperature, I like it. .293 right rear. That is a new caliper on the right rear. The 247. .244. So that's interesting. The new caliper is hotter on the right rear than the left rear. I'm wondering though, you see how close the exhaust is, if that has a bearing on this infrared temp gun. I mean, it's right next to the wheel, so that could be a factor in this temperature reading. Let's do this one more time. Yeah, you see, if I move my temp gun up, we can hit that exhaust. Is that temp gun reading that exhaust? I believe it is. So my exhaust is right there. Right where my laser pointer is my exhaust. And then, you know, it's hottest at the tip of that rotor. Yeah, so I think that might be an issue. Let's try to grab it on the inside, away from the exhaust. To compare these two, we'll try to get it right in the corner. I think I might be picking up the exhaust on this side, so we'll hit it right where the rotor meets the hub part of it. So about 250. And that same area is about 225 on this side. So about a 25-degree temperature difference. The left rear to right rear, and the thing about it is the right rear is the new caliper. I really have to say that it's probably the exhaust that's causing that 25-degree temp difference. I mean, certainly by feel, you know, my hand, I'm on the rim, it feels normal, I can hold it there. Same thing with this side. And I really don't feel much of a temp difference on the rim. Interesting, that 25-degree temperature difference. Let's get you a rim temperature. Shiny surface though can be difficult. Sometimes not accurate. 109. .116. .117. So yeah, I'm not going to do anything with that. I think it's interesting. This is the new caliper on this side. It's hotter on this side. The exhaust is next to this. I don't know that that's enough heat difference on this side of the truck. Like I said, I don't do temperature readings with temp guns. I typically, this would be all of us, we go by smell, we go by feel. How's the truck drive? Is it holding back at all? There's no hang up with the brakes. Everything feels great. I don't smell any brake you know, burning smell of overheating. Temperature wise, you know, with the temp gun, it's a little bit more precise and something that I've never really done, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm done. We're calling this a fix. And I believe if I had flushed this brake system out a few times before that I wouldn't have had any issues at all. So thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you next time.